Okay, we're going to hang us some meat. And here I've got me a mixture of venison and beef. Now, they're going to be two completely different colored meats, as you'll see. The venison has a tendency to be darker. And this is really good venison. These are, if I told you to cut you'd want to smack me senseless. So let's hang a couple. I'm hanging this beautiful hunk of venison. And how you could tell it's venison, there's a little bit of silver skin on it right there. So it is venison. The part of the venison that it is would make a lot of you cry. But I guess I can tell you, it's actually the inner loin. So yes, it's actually the inner loin of a deer. That little itty bitty hunk of beautiful meat in there, well, it's going to be venison jerky. And the other big pieces of beef that I'm using are actually from London broils. And once I get more of this hung on here, I can probably explain it a little more. I'm trying not to make too much of a mess here, but I will explain it as much as possible. If you look in the oven, there is a bunch of paper towel down, and underneath the paper towel, believe it or not, there's a bunch of newspaper down, and beneath the newspaper there's tinfoil down. And the reason for that is to prevent a mess in the stove, because if there's one thing I can't stand, it's a messy stove. You know, it's just my way of being. So you can look at the meat, see what I got left here. You see I'm hanging with toothpicks. I'm going to pause for a second. I'm going to go through the magic of time and put some jerky in here. Okay, as you see, I got a few more pieces up than what were here earlier. And you'll notice the jerky is dripping very well. That's all the excess liquid, and that's the reason for the whole paper and foil and situation, because if I don't put that down, this stuff will just keep leaking everywhere. And I'm finding some beautiful, look at that beautiful hunk of venison inner loin. It's going to be jerky soon. And when I say soon, I will pull this out when I feel that it's ready. I don't mess around with my meat like a lot of guys like to play around with their meat a little bit. I'm not going to play around with my meat. I take this seriously. I mean, I'm sure I've been known to play around with my meat, but in this case, it's a total different story, because this is the meat we eat, not the meat we play with. And Mama Cookie's probably sitting there giggling right now because she wants to eat this meat. Well, she's holding the phone thinking about how delicious this meat is. This is going to be the final piece, and then we'll talk more. So I'm going to put that final piece in there. Now, you can get a good look at everything. Okay. Ooh, my hands are cold. There's a mixture. I'm going to show the mixture here. All right, this brine was brought to you by Bouncer Slab and his son. He happens to be home from college this week, for a week, and him and I mixed it up. It's got, well, better than bouillon ham base, which I put a good share of. That way I don't have to add any salt. A very small drop of white sugar, a couple capfuls of liquid smoke, tons of ground black pepper. And because I did venison with it, this venison over here, because I did that, I added a little lemon pepper, and then of course the garlic powder and the onion powder, and a couple squirts of soy sauce. That's also a flavor enhancer and a salt thing. Makes it all better. The secret to this recipe, though, was evening the flavor out with brown sugar. And unfortunately, I messed up and forgot to get an extra bag of light brown sugar, so I had to put dark brown sugar. But as you can see, it looks like it's going to be delicious. And I will actually show you this meat as my thumbnail of the video. And there you go. You see, that's the venison. See that nice red color? And that is the London broil, which isn't red. It's kind of got a brownish tone to it, except that piece, which was in the bottom. But so the venison's reddish, the London broil's brown. You can see the difference. Two very good meats. This is going to be the very first time I've ever made jerky out of preacher's meat, just so you know. But it just looked right. It looked right. So that's what I got for you for now. When the jerky's done, you'll see it in the thumbnail. Remember, it's soaked for 24 hours in that liquid. I don't go much longer because I like to control the amount of salt. And I don't like a lot of salt in my jerky. All right, we'll talk to you later. We'll see what happens. Bye for now. Look at that marvelous meat.